Hi there, welcome to my video about the Oudolf Garden Detroit on Belle Isle. First things first, let me tell you a little bit about the Oudolf Garden Detroit. It's a beautiful and unique garden that was designed by the Dutch landscape architect Piet Oudolf. He's known for creating gardens that are not only beautiful to look at, but also great for the environment. And let me tell you, this garden in Detroit is no exception. The garden is located on Belle Isle, which is a large island park in the Detroit River. It's a great spot to visit if you're looking for a little bit of nature in the middle of the city. Oudolf Garden Detroit opened to the public on August 28, 2021. Oudolf himself said, "This garden sits on one of the most natural sites of one of my gardens anywhere. It's a place where people can go and never be bored or disappointed. It's also a place that will teach you about plants, because you will see plants you've never seen before or have never seen combined in this way." The garden is unique because it includes all the styles used by Oudolf in his natural perennial gardens. When you visit the garden, you'll see that it's divided into different sections, and each section has its own character and features different plants and flowers. Piet Oudolf's original plans are included on the Oudolf Garden Detroit's interactive map that you can access on their website. This garden is filled with all kinds of different plants and flowers, but what's really special about it is the way that the garden's designed. Piet Oudolf is a master of creating natural-looking gardens that are also fairly easy to maintain. You'll find lots of different types of flowers in the garden, including native wildflowers, grasses, and perennials. The garden is designed to be in bloom from spring to fall, so there's always something to look at. In the spring and summer, you'll see lots of wildflowers and grasses in bloom, while in the fall, the garden is filled with a riot of color as the perennials and other plants start to change color. Another great thing about this garden is that it's a pollinator garden, which means that it's designed to attract a wide variety of pollinators like bees and butterflies and even birds. This is really important because these pollinators are responsible for helping plants reproduce, and it maintains a healthy ecosystem. If you're looking for a great place to relax and enjoy some nature in Detroit, the Oudolf Garden Detroit on Belle Isle is definitely worth a visit. The garden is free to visit and it's open year-round, so you can come and enjoy it anytime you want. One of the things I really love about the Oudolf Garden Detroit is that it's not just beautiful to look at, but it's also educational. There are signs throughout the garden that tell you about the different plants and their names, as well as information about pollinators and their importance in the ecosystem. Plus, there are educational programs and tours that are held throughout the year. So whether you're a gardener yourself or just somebody who loves nature, the Oudolf Garden Detroit on Belle Isle is definitely worth a visit. It's a beautiful and unique garden that's not only a pleasure to look at, but it's also a great way to learn about gardening and the environment. Now, you may be wondering, what makes the Oudolf style so special? Well, let me tell you about it. Oudolf is known for his use of perennials and grasses in his designs. He's a big believer in the natural beauty of these plants and the way that they change throughout the seasons. He also tends to plant in large drifts or groupings rather than single specimens, which creates a much more dynamic and layered look in the garden. Another thing that sets Oudolf's style apart is his focus on seed heads and other structural elements of the plants. He believes that these features are just as important as the flowers themselves, and will often leave them standing in the garden long after the flowers have faded. This creates an interesting and dynamic garden, even in the winter months. Piet Oudolf's gardening style is also known as the New Perennial movement, a style where it's less about creating a pristine, perfectly manicured garden, and more about allowing plants to grow and evolve naturally. It's about embracing the changes that come with the seasons and creating a garden that's always interesting and always changing. So I don't know about you, but I think it would be so cool to do your own Oudolf-inspired garden for your personal garden at home. And if you want to do that, I think that there's a few key things that we need to keep in mind if we're going to do this type of Oudolf-inspired garden. First, we got to focus on selecting the right plants. Oudolf is known for his use of perennials and grasses, and we're going to want to select varieties that are best suited for our climate and our soil conditions. The next thing we want to do is pay attention to the structure of the plants. Oudolf's gardens are all about layering, so think about how different plants will complement each other in terms of their height and their shape and their texture. This will help you create a garden that looks interesting and dynamic all year round. When we're planning this kind of design, I think we need to create a sense of movement in our gardens. Oudolf is a master of creating garden spaces that seem to invite you in and invite you to explore. They use curves and winding paths and other design elements to create a sense of flow and movement. Even if you watch the plants and the way that they move in the wind, it's really amazing. And lastly, don't be afraid to experiment and play around with different design ideas. Coming up with an Oudolf-inspired garden isn't about copying a design. Oudolf's gardens are all about embracing the natural beauty of plants and allowing them to grow and evolve. So don't be afraid to try new things and see what works best in your own garden. Some things are going to work and some things aren't, but it's best to try it out, and experimenting is the best way to do it. And remember to be patient. It takes time to see the full potential of your garden. But with time and care, you'll have a beautiful and unique Oudolf-inspired garden. So there you have it. It's kind of like the beginner's guide to creating an Oudolf-style garden. It's definitely a style that takes inspiration from nature. It's all about embracing the change of the seasons and the natural beauty of the plants. So get out there and start experimenting with different plants and different design elements. I'm really looking forward to the spring because that's something I want to do too. So if you're looking to try out a new gardening style and want to create a dynamic, natural-looking garden, then give Pete Oudolf's approach a try. And don't forget, it's not always about perfection. It's about embracing the natural beauty of the plants and letting them grow and evolve. All of these plants are chosen for their ability to thrive in a particular climate and soil condition based on the garden site, and also for their ability to provide a succession of color and texture throughout the entire growing season. They all share the same characteristic of being hardy and low maintenance in order to achieve the naturalistic and sustainable look that Oudolf is known for. One of the hallmarks of Oudolf's garden design is his use of multi-season interest. He chooses plants that provide a succession of color and texture throughout the entire growing season. Another important aspect of Oudolf's garden philosophy is his focus on biodiversity. He believes that by creating gardens that mimic natural ecosystems, and by planting a large variety of different species of plants, we can help to support and sustain the biodiversity of our planet. His gardens often include a mixture of native and non-native plants. They're designed to provide a habitat and food for a wide range of different insects, birds, and other wildlife. So the bottom line is, if you're looking to try a new gardening style and you want to create a dynamic, natural-looking garden, give Pete Oudolf's approach a try. And don't forget, it's not always about perfection. It's about the natural beauty of plants and letting them grow and evolve. Well, as we wrap up this video, I hope you've enjoyed exploring the Oudolf Garden Detroit with me. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.